Aquarius, how's it going? All right, I just dealt with a couple buyers and I enjoyed one and found out their sign is a Leo. Maybe you're dealing with a Leo, you have a Leo placement, but the Sun and the Queen of Wands came out in both decks. So you could be dealing with a fire sign. Specifically, I'm getting a Leo. And then you came out as the Star. And the Fool came out as well. So it could be an Aries as well. But we are in a very powerful time right now because we're coming from Sagittarius season into Capricorn season, which is going from the crown back to the root, right? From the crown to the ground, we're going back down, deep down in there. Yeah, I'm trying to shake off the residual energy from the second experience that I had, the second interaction I had. I did not like that person. It just left a yucky taste in my energy, you know, that I just didn't like them. And they were trying to cross boundaries and they shortchange me, literally with change. I just don't like people. I love people, but I don't like people. And so maybe that's part of yours. I didn't ask her sign because I did not enjoy her. We weren't in that place. But yeah, you could be dealing with someone. And that's kind of that's the balance of coming into divine union, or when you're onto anything divine, is that you get this sort of devilish type energy, which is Capricorn season. Could be dealing with Capricorn, but Capricorn season is, and Capricorn as a sign, as an energy, as a challenge, astrological challenge, is Saturn, and it's like the Saturn return. So maybe your Saturn placement, maybe you have Capricorn placements. You could have a stellium of Capricorn. You could have a fire sign stellium. But Capricorn is cardinal, right? So it's Earth. So it's using fire of the cardinal fire modality to supplement what's going on in the 3D, in the pentacle world, in the physical earth world. Now, so you could be using you could be inhabiting this fiery, passionate energy and things that make you angry, right? All these spiritual leaders will be like, lose the ego death, like it's one finite ego death and then you don't have your ego anymore, which is absurd. Or it's like love and light, you know, and you know, spiritual light workers, yeah, they use light, and yeah, they are love, but sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, right? Sometimes you might have to clap back at somebody and let them know they've gone too far, right? And that's where the Queen of Wands comes in, and she's in both of these decks in the shuffle. So the Queen of Wands doesn't take any shit. She's not going to take that sass. She's not going to be disrespected. So I had to set boundaries with this person, like, no, you can't cross that boundary. And so, you know, it's just, no. So you may have to stand your ground here. So we're going to look at your divine connection. We're going to look at your divine counterpart in that union and what could be slowing it down, what could be blocking it, what could be the holdup, right? But there's something about returning, like going back down to, you know, it's like you can take the girl out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the girl. That's the Queen of Wands. She's like, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. You know what I mean? There's like a very kind of like hyphy energy coming from in my space right now, as I was preparing to do your reading in the shuffle, and so I just get that kind of like, you might have to really set some firm boundaries. You may have to deal with someone who tries to return, right? It could be Capricorn, but Capricorn is the devil in tarot, right? So you could just be dealing with a devil, right? Some sort of demonic influence, someone who's trying in a lower shadow form of themselves, or from a past version of you, right? Someone who's like trying to force you to get back into that place, and you may have to just leave them with love and light and say, no, I'm not going to do that. Because light is fire, it's the sun, right? We get our power and our light from the sun, from source, from the divine, from God, whatever you call it. But we are little vessels that use that. And it's like the Princess and the Frog, Ray, you know, maybe you're from the South, like maybe you're just like country, maybe you just come from a place that's like a little bit rough, and you had to get rough and tough to do it, but then through maybe your healing process of leaving that life behind you, you finally have gotten to a place of peace. And I feel like someone may come in and try and test your peace, you know, and try and like bring that out of you. But little Ray, the firefly, because I see us as like little fireflies in the night. We're like little stars on earth, you know, trying to light up the night. And I don't see that many fireflies anymore. I haven't seen them since I was a child, which is really upsetting. It's very fundamentally upsetting to me. But when you see one, it's the most magical thing. But where Ray's like, don't make me use my butt, you know, and he's like zapping the demons, he's zapping the shadows with his little butt, you know. It's like, maybe you're small. I had a Spanish teacher that used to say, big things come in as small packages, you know, and she was very small, petite, and but she was kind of spicy, sassy, and so maybe you are, you know, maybe you're Latin, maybe you just have that kind of Queen of Wands energy about you, or something may come in to test you that brings that out of you. And it's like John Wick, Liam Neeson, Taken, you know, it's like those the hitmen or hit women who have to cut like something happens where they have to get, you know, they have to get a little spicy. So let's see. That's just what's coming up. So we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is like reaping what you sow, working really hard on your own to create something, planting seeds. So you may be tested by something that makes you doubt. And it could be for a moment, it could be for days, it could be for weeks. You could have been in this doubt for years, right? This happening may have been, you know, the time is a frequency, so it could have been, you know, when it was, right? Could have been a long time ago on our understanding of time, and so you could be like all of a sudden getting an understanding of why that happened, because this is like your flowers blooming, but it's sort of not knowing why something happened, not knowing if the work that you did in the past is going to be effective. It's like planting seeds before the winter, right? And then everything is just blanketed in white, unless you're in Florida, and then it's just brown and cold for no reason. But it's like the snow melts and then spring happens. This is like, so maybe you're going to meet your person in springtime. Maybe their birthday is springtime. Pentacles could be an earth sign. That would be Taurus, right? You could be dealing with that. But there's something about trusting in the process and having faith that the work that you've done, you know, and the closer you get to God, the closer the devil gets to you, because the devil doesn't want you to get to God. The devil doesn't want you to, shadows don't want you to come into your union. They don't want you to meet up with this person, because you guys are going to do God's work, right? You're going to be doing some divine light work together, and you're going to only be more powerful together. And so the more powerful you are, the harder you are to stop. So it's that you may have moments of weakness based on something that's going on in your pentacle world that you're maybe not. This is almost like, it's not quite 5 of Pentacles where you feel left out in the cold and you're like overcome with the lack of fortune, whether that be perceived or in your bank, right? You could be struggling with finances. But I do get a bit of a, you may get pulled in that direction. Now, it might not be a person that tests you, right? The devil tests us in a lot of ways. The divine doesn't test us, really, right? The divine is unconditional. The love is there regardless. We are the love. If you feel tested, it's the ego, it's the devil, it's the lower vibrations. And see, they're kind of stabbing the tree there, poking at the tree. This is kind of like picking a scab, but sometimes sometimes there's sometimes you have to like re-break something to reset it, and sometimes you have to debride a wound. Like you have to get all the scar tissue, right? Like if your heart felt burned, I mean, you could have experienced literal burns somehow, because it's kind of like scorched earth, right? So it's, sometimes you have to debride that. Well, you almost always have to, depending on the degree of the burn, but you have to debride the old away. And as you're getting closer, when you're getting deeper down into the wound to where you can get the infection out, right? You have to irrigate it, you have to clean it. Like I feel like you're going through this test of faith that's like, you have to like do some bloodletting, right? Could be dealing with family, right? I squint at that, like maybe your family's just a bunch of assholes and they're gonna come around because they see you maybe getting some money, right? Maybe you come from a background, an upbringing where everyone's the victim. Maybe they're going to ask you for money. They're going to try and cross boundaries with you. And that could be the test. That could be the holdup, because you have to go through this. You have to get all that gunk out of the wound. And the more that you do the shadow work, the more that they bubble to the surface. So this is kind of like, yeah, it's coming, but there's sort of a little pimple that needs to be popped, right? You gotta like get the pus out. You gotta get that little remaining gook out before you can really see yourself flourish and come to a place where you're like, oh, I actually was right all along. Maybe as you tried to heal and maybe you had a sight, very tapped into your intuition, your emotions, and you felt like your family was just not right for you and you had to go your own way. You could be considered bougie. You could be considered you think you're all high and mighty, you think you're better than us. And it's like, yeah. It's like, no, but I am doing what's right and what's better for me. And y'all can come with me or not. It's up to you. And I feel like they didn't come with you, but now that you're reaping all the benefits, you're reaping what you sowed, they may come back in like, oh, well, now we want to know what you did. And that's people who have no faith, right? You had faith in the process, and so, they have to do that for themselves. Lots of pentacles. This is your fixed energy. This is staying determined. Fixed energy is earth. It's staying determined. Staying the course. Trusting the process. And that can, a lot of people can say that you're stubborn. Fixed signs are often, labeled as being stubborn, or maybe you were told that you had anger issues. Well, anger is a sign of passion and a need for change, right? We get angry about things that aren't right and that need to change. So maybe you were specifically medicated on Ritalin or some sort of, maybe you went to like anger management classes, or maybe you were just told that you were a problem, you were sent away to boarding school, you were in detention a lot, you got referrals or whatever. Maybe you were just a problem child, right? Maybe you were the troublemaker, but you weren't really the troublemaker, you were the change maker. But you had to get out of that element, you had to get out of that space in order to really do the change and the work on yourself and break the cycles for those who didn't have the courage or the faith or the trust in the process or the tools to do it themselves. So you have the tools, you were blessed with the tools, and so you've utilized them to make something of yourself. Because we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. I mean, this is someone who's abundant. Look at all these little creations, these little divine creations just at her feet, right? And that's 4. This is also gives me magician energy, right? Which is mercurial. It's speaking your truth. You could be speaking out, like setting your boundaries, speaking your truth, living in your truth. But it's like the 4 elements, right? We got earth, air, fire, water. We've got these we've got the crown, the throat, we've got the solar plexus, or the root, and the sacral chakras. So that's all creative energy. So maybe you're doing something where you're using your voice, you're using your throat chakra, and your crown, right? Your crown, it's like you're using your lower, there's that crown in the same Saturn. It's like you're using everything, all your tools in your bucket, everything that you were given. And that's from everything that you learned what not to do, and everything that you've learned that actually works for you. Like things that you've seen result, you've seen the payout, right? You could come from an obese family and maybe you got into fitness, because pentacles are about your physical, tangible world, what you can see, what you can feel, what you can touch, what you can taste, right? So maybe you got really into your health, right? And it's like you've cured your blood, your bloodline. You've transmuted that energy of, hereditary diabetes, or maybe you got something hereditary and you've like overcome that. It was maybe something that was perceived as a disability or a setback or some sort of detriment, but it was actually, I think that because it was so bad, it needed to be changed, and you had the tools to change it. You had the divine sight to change it. And it's like you've transformed everything. You're aligned from crown to ground, ground to crown, right? And back down again. It's like from Sagittarius to Capricorn, right? Jupiter, Saturn. Purple to red, right? So maybe something in the colors for you, maybe something in those planetary placements for you, maybe Sagittarius, maybe Capricorn, maybe the season. Like right now, you're feeling like, nope, this is my pentacle. And we've got these 4 little guys. So with the Queen of Pentacles, it's also like the 4 of Pentacles, right? It's like keeping what you have, needing to just hold on to it. And then there's the 6 of Pentacles. And maybe you do help out, right? But you're not giving everything. You're not showing all your cards, because we get this sort of like beggar here. Maybe there's something about homelessness with your family. Something transient about people that you're dealing with. This is more about like family. This is more about that. But let's talk about your 6 of Pentacles with the 7 of Pentacles. You have more than enough. So you're coming into a place where it's like you can give back, but you had to build yourself up first. Now, again, you might help, right? You might give people the resources. If maybe your family's coming out of genuine curiosity and they're like, oh, what you're doing is working. How'd you do that? You might be like, well, this is how I did it. And you tell them, but that's all you're giving them. You're not doing the work for them. You're not over giving. You're not, it's like you'll give them just enough, but they have to balance the scales themselves, right? I mean, you could be volunteering with the homeless or those, but it's the Eight of Pentacles. Holy shit, Aquarius. This is a lot of like fakes. You've been disciplined. You have stayed the course, and the payout is coming. And that's not why you did it either. I mean, the payout being maybe not financial, but you wanted the peace. You wanted the peace. You wanted the serenity. You wanted the strength. You wanted to be honest, be accountable, you know? Maybe you're an accountant. This is the Eight of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles. This is focusing on your work, and it's beyond the Seven of Pentacles. It's like, and maybe you're going to come together with this person, and you guys are going to be able to, because of this work that you've done, you might meet at work with all these pentacles. You may know this person from work, meet at work. Either way, however you meet, and we'll find out in a minute, you're going to collaborate with these double Six of Pentacles. And you two are mirroring each other in such a way that it's like, I feel like you both came from a very similar, you might have literally come from the same hometown, but either way it's going to feel like that. This person's going to feel like the home that you left behind to find, right? It's not going to feel familiar. It's going to feel like home. It's going to be the peace that you have been working your ass off to get. And that's what you wanted, the peace. And that's the payout, right? That's the thing that you've been manifesting. But I do feel like there's a lot of financial there's a lot of financial and 3D stability. We have the Ten of Pentacles here with the Six of Pentacles. You guys are gonna do some, did the work, and I feel like it's bringing you together, and you're gonna have more than enough to share. Because that's the thing, you didn't do it for the money. You did it because it needed to be done. But it is bringing in money. It is bringing in financial, physical, tangible security and abundance, which is going to really nurture your fixed modality. It's going to help you feel secure so that you can be your Aquarian self, and you can be free and make music and make art and be passionate and do all the things that you truly want to do. It's like you've balanced your masculine and your feminine energy. And so that's attracting your person, because you've got the Ten of Pentacles here. You guys are coming together. Maybe you're doing something with plants, flora, fauna, but I get more like flora. Maybe you guys are going to be something with foraging, something with growing, something with, you know, a farm, permaculture, you know, organic landscaping, a nursery, right? Something with plants, because I do feel like this earth, you guys are growing a lot. And I feel like maybe you're gonna grow a bunch of food, and you're gonna be able to donate a lot of it, or you're gonna build like a 501c nonprofit where you've gotten to the place where you have more than enough for yourselves, so you can actually give back to the community. And I feel like the community is your family. So, but I do feel like both of you have come from a very toxic, vampiric bloodline. And you've cured that. You've done the work to bloodlet. Doing bloodletting. This feels very old worldy. I mean, maybe you live in like London, but I do get to like, more sir, please sir, you know, and like the bloodletting it's an old world practice. So there's something very old world about this, with the pentacles, with the gold, like the Count of Monte Cristo, you know, it feels like a treasure trove, a treasure treasure trove, treasure chest is what I think I was going to say as well. I think I was about to say a bunch of stuff in there. Strength, so yeah, you could be dealing with a Leo, but it's, you guys are strong. You guys have looked into the throat of the beast and said, give me back my money. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe there is some sort of inheritance or payout for a fight. That was weird. So maybe there's like some justice that's coming in. Yeah, maybe you were stolen from. Maybe you were deceived, right? You grew up around takers. Maybe your friendships, jobs you worked at. Maybe you always overgave. You just, you didn't have boundaries. But this is all like boundaries here because the abundance is here. And it's taken a lot of strength for you to hold your ground and to stay the course. And Leo's also a fixed sign, right? So you could be dealing with a Leo, you could have a Leo placement again, but I feel like this is that fixed energy. It's like the fixed signs unite, you know, it's the fixed energy, the pentacles, the earth. There's something that's really feeding into nature. It's feeding into your actual nature. And it's creating this space for your divine family. All right, and it starts with this union, which is coming in. We have the Ten of Swords, which I'll get to in a second, but there's an ending that's bringing in this new beginning. This is the ending of deception. This is the ending of, look at all, like, people stabbed you in the back, and it's always, you have to be close to somebody to stab them in the back, right? It reminds me of Saruman, right? Somebody that you trusted stabbed you in the back and deceived you. And you just said, oh, no more of this shit. And you stood up and you started setting your boundaries. You started using those swords like a fortress, right? And that's the thing, is you're an air sign. This is, somebody used your power against you. They used your kindness against you. They perceived it as weakness. And you're like, oh yeah, give me these swords, but I'm actually divinely protected, so these didn't actually get me. You just thought I was down. You thought you got me down. And then guess what? I'm like fucking Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers. You know, you can't kill me. You can't, I'm divinely protected. I'm a divine creator. I'm the magician. Abracadabra, bitch. Avada Kedavra. But it's your abracadabra. Right? Abracadabra. And it takes, for the divine union, it takes two magicians. It takes two divine alchemists. The divine masculine, divine feminine, and the divine creation. You could be having a child with this individual, or children, but this family that you're building starts with you. So whether it's a community that becomes your family, whether you work, maybe you're going to work with like kids in the system, kids in inner city kids, urban areas, right? Maybe you're going to do like urban landscaping, permaculture, gardening, like teaching people from like where you came from that were impoverished, that were poor, in the because I got that Five of Pentacles, people who were truly victims of their circumstances. You're going to go in and empower them through all the tools that you've learned. The Eight of Swords. So this is the holdup here. This is feeling bound, feeling, you know, anxiety, not seeing what's happening around you, turning a blind eye. It's all happening behind your back, and you're bound. There's something that you feel bound to. Why do you feel bound? Let's see. Page of Pentacles. You could have a child, and maybe you feel bound to a past partnership. Maybe your child is an earth sign. We have the Three of Pentacles. Why would you have anxiety about this? Three of Pentacles. You know, that's like the Two of Cups here. It's people working together. And it starts with the Holy Trinity. It starts with you understanding your body, your mind, your spirit, me, myself, and I. It's staying in your own world, doing everything yourself. Doing everything yourself. Okay, so maybe, because we have the Queen of Pentacles here, with all these pentacles here, but the Eight of Pentacles is like the masculine working towards that. So you could be dealing with an earth sign, and you are working to offer, as the masculine, you're working to offer something to the feminine. Now the Queen of Pentacles needs pentacles, right? That's the love language of the Queen of Pentacles. And so the masculine could be, because we get this sort of damsel in distress, so maybe the feminine, and the Eight of Pentacles, the feminine could be in this like hyper independent place of like doing everything themselves. And so there could be, with the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles, maybe the feminine, this Queen of Pentacles, feels like, you know if that's you or not. If not, it's your person. Maybe they feel like, are they coming? Is my person coming? And then see all these swords here? With this 10 of Swords and the 8 of Swords, the difference is 2 of Swords. 2 of Swords is the decision. It's like the masculine, if the masculine is the Aquarius, it's this air energy is coming in. Maybe you're cross-watching, because this feels like a reading for an earth sign. So maybe there's an earth sign cross-watching for Aquarius right now. Like, where's my person? Because I do feel like there's like, where are they coming? And they're going to sneak up behind you. But they're not going to stab you in the back like they've been done. They're going to sneak up behind you and be like, boom, here's some pentacles. So they may be coming in with a gift, some sort of, I mean, it's going to be a very stable offering to match all this work. Because the Six of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, and Six of Pentacles is, and maybe with the swords, the blockage there could be a stutter or some sort of speech impediment, or just such an excitement. This person is going to come in so quickly, but it feels, but it's taken them a long time. But when they do come in, it's like they're going to come in all at once. And so they might have this very like Page of Swords, very, well, Page of Swords is just watching and not doing anything, but this like Knight of Swords, very fast and furious, quick type communication, because they're very excited, because now they feel like they have something to offer the feminine. Or you could have just met, maybe they just have seen you, or maybe they've been in the Page of Swords watching the feminine, and then it's like they get the last key, the last observation, the last little factoid or whatever. Maybe they didn't know that because the Queen of Pentacles was very in this intimidating, hyper independent place, they might have been like, are they single? Maybe the masculine didn't know if the feminine was single, and so they get that little factoid, and they're gonna come in and be like, abracadabra. Like, oh, you actually are what I've been working for. This Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, you are actually what I've been working for my whole damn life. My whole life cycle. 8 is the number of cycle. It's the number of infinity. Again with Leo. So you could be dealing with a fellow fixed sign. You could be dealing with an earth sign. A lot of fixed and earth energy here. Pentacles everywhere. 3 of Pentacles. You feel like you both have just been very hyper independent. You've had to do it all yourself. You had to break the cycle. You're cycle breakers. You're magicians, you're masters of whatever your craft or trade is. And 6 of Pentacles, 6 is the number of self-love, right? You had to give to yourself before you could give to others. And I think that both of you were those who gave to others. King of Cups, you're dealing with a water sign. There's that 5 of Pentacles. You came out of the Pentacles, and maybe you've got your Pentacle world feels great, but you've really been doing this work because what you want is love. All you need is love. Maybe you play an instrument. But let's be real, that's why we're here. You want this divine union. And so maybe this Five of Pentacles, there might be a little bit of that worry about, am I, you know, closer you get to God, closer you get to union, the closer the bullshit tries to come in and have one last snag, like one last, you know, you might get some, it could be a past connection, or it could just be some new connection that feels exactly like a past connection. It could feel very familiar and you're just like, why am I still getting this bullshit? Haven't I done the work? Haven't I done enough work? What else do you want from me? You know, like, haven't I done the work to get better than this? I thought that I was like on the level of manifesting my person, my King of Cups, so I could come into the Two of Cups. So I could come into the Ten of Pentacles, right? Because the Ten of Pentacles is abundance, and yes, you're either at the Nine of Pentacles alone, but this is the union. You come into the Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, right? But you have to end a cycle of the ego, which is of the masculine, which is of the 3D, which is of swords and fire. Ten of Wands is working for others, it's over giving to others, it's casual connections. And then this is you know, the burden that you carry for others. And then this is deception. This is living in your truth, setting boundaries. This is coming into the King of Swords, Queen of Swords. This is coming into your power of the Ace of Swords is communication. The Ace of Wands is passion. Right? The Ace of Cups is filling your own cup so that you can bring in someone else. And then the Ace of Pentacles is, you know, that's already covered here. Five of Wands in the Tower. So yeah, there could be a lot of competition, could be a lot of eyes on you. Look into my eye. What is that from? It's from Aliens. Alien 3. No, it's from Aliens. The second one. Where the military... He's like, look into my eye. And also with the tower here, I get like, I see you, right? So it's very like, and also Saruman is always watching and like trying to get in the way here. So there's like a false twin. There's someone that's going to feel very familiar, and you, because of the frequency that you're on, you think, oh, this must be the right person. This must be good stuff, right? This must be my white wizard. But they're not. They're actually working for the devil. They're actually a test. There's some sort of person that needs to get pushed the fuck off this tower and stabbed in the back. And just go to the bottom there. So yeah, through your divine sight, through your divine flashlight that you're putting on others, right? See, it's like shining the light here. And what happens when you shine the light on those shadows, on the demons, right? Once you find them out, once you call them out, once you set a boundary because you see what they're up to, they don't stand a chance. But just know that they're gonna try, and it will be pitiful. It feels like it's gonna be laughable. But you have the Page of Cups and the Lovers. And just know that if you've got a bunch of people in your DMs or creepers or whatever, it's like, just know that your person is, they know what they have to offer. They've got all these pentacles to offer, and they're going to come in I don't want to say rescue you, because I get this damsel in distress, bringing you in out of the cold, but it is kind of like they're going to fight for this love, right? They are confident. This is an emperor coming in. The emperor pursues, but they only pursue the divine feminine. They only pursue the empress, right? So just maintain that. Just know and trust that you planted the seeds. You planted all the right seeds. You did all the right things. That's the determination. That's the fixed energy of just staying the course. Stay the course. Hold that frequency, that divine feminine frequency, and your person will come in, right? And see, it's like, and the masculine, maybe the holdup is with the masculine. They're taking a little bit longer because they've been tested. See the snake trying to bite they are biting their heel, right? there could be someone from the past trying to do it or whatever. I feel like this is more like they're not going to be fazed by. See, the past here is confusion. Anyone who leaves you confused, don't bother with them. That's leave them to their own confusion. You don't need to inhabit that. The moon is a lack of clarity. So I feel like there's like this confusion, this toxicity, this venomous creature, could be a Scorpio, trying to come in and deter. It could be sexual energy, right? Trying to distract them because they feel like this person is getting closer to their lover, to their divine counterpart. And this masculine does not look distracted at all. I mean, he's kind of like, ooh. But I'm seeing him as not being distracted by this. He's going to continue coming in for his person. Like, trust in that. Trust that they're coming in and they're not going to let that bother them. We have the Four of Wands and the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is that moon. Well, we have the Four of Swords and the Four of Wands, right? So it's better than the aces, right? Because it's coming together and it's balancing of this masculine energy. And balance is pentacles. Pentacles are balance. Because they are of the 3D, but they're a feminine element. Fixed earth is feminine, but it's also of the 3D, which is masculine, right? So earth is the one element that is it's more transient, right? It's more, which is like the Hierophant, Taurus, right? It's the one who takes the 5D, they're tapped into the 5D, and they teach by translating, transmuting. They're the medium. They're the medium between there. I feel like the more that I pull, the more that it's going to get back to the original point of like your person's coming with the Six of Cups, Four of Wands. This divine union is coming. I feel like there's just like one final test. The devil, of course. But the Ten of Pentacles is right there. So it's High Priestess and the Fool. That's you as the Fool. It could be Aries, and then the High Priestess is Pisces, so that could be that King of Cups. Those are just some signs that you could be dealing with, placements you could have, energies, or seasons that you're going to meet up with this person if you're looking for, depending on the questions that you've been asking during this reading, or that you've just been asking in general. Interpret those how you will, right? Because every sign is a frequency, it's an energy, it's a challenge, it's an opportunity, and it's a season, right? So if you're looking for a literal timeline, maybe in Pisces season, maybe you're a Pisces Aquarius cusp, because we got the Fool and the High Priestess. So whatever you needed from this, hopefully you got it. And until next time, I wish you well.